Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Do you struggle with internet access in your home? Are you having spotty coverage? Well, in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Deco M4 mesh wireless system from TP-LINK. Let's go ahead and check it out. So if you're looking to have complete coverage in your home, and I'm talking about 5,500 square feet, something that's simple to use, something that can support up to 100 devices, then you're going to want to watch this video and learn more about this product from TP-LINK. So in this video, we're going to cover the product, the specs, we're going to show you how it can be used, and also we'll review the mobile app that's used in order to support it. So let's get right to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
So the first thing we're going to do is just cover the overall specs and some of the things that we see here in the packaging. So this is a whole home mesh Wi-Fi system, right, that has parental controls and also adaptive path selection. Seamless roaming no matter where you are in the house. You have fast, stable internet everywhere. It has a feature that's going to help kill dead zones. So that means if you notice at certain parts of your home that things slow down, you won't have that problem with this router. You can connect to up to 100 different devices. And you think about 100 devices a long time ago could have been a lot. But nowadays, if you have a Hughes bulb, if you have a TP-LINK bulb, if you have any kind of nanoleaf, like what I have behind me, all of these things are using the internet. They're counted as a device. If you have an Alexa, if you have a Google device, if you have an Apple device, they're all connected and they're considered devices. So that 100 can go really quick. Also, something that can be supported really easily on your phone. So we're going to see how this setup and the Deco app works. And it has dual band speeds. And like we covered, you have up to 5,500 square feet that this is going to cover. So that's pretty large. 3 to 5 bedroom house. So for those of you who have never really heard of mesh solutions, let's take a look at how it's explained here in this illustration. So the way this is going to work is you're going to have one of these components here, right? One of these mesh points is going to be placed right connected to your router. So this is where the internet comes in, as you can see here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the other mesh points, this guy right here, and you're going to place it throughout your home, spread equally so that you can cover everything that you want to cover. So you'll notice here in this illustration, you have one where your internet comes in, and then you have one in this location and one in this location. And the goal is that it is going to then cover this area completely without any kind of gaps. You can see how you have these circles that are circling everything. So again, a couple things that I just wanted to highlight that we didn't see in the on the other side of the box. So you also have these parental controls, so you can limit online time if that's something that you would like to really focus on. You have no buffering, so this is using AC 1200 dual band Wi-Fi, and you'll notice that it's supporting all the newest standards when it comes to connectivity. It also has an adaptive path selection, which you saw earlier. And pretty much what that's going to do is it's going to keep your network running fast and at top speeds by automatically choosing the best connection for the device that you're going to be connecting to. And then, the real focus about this is we're trying to demystify and simplify how you use the product and how you connect. So easy setup. So let's get right to it. Now in the box, you're going to have 3 mesh points as we saw here. And then you're going to also have a package that was going to have all the connectivity for each one of those mesh points. So you'll notice that you have power, because that's what you'll need. And then you will also have some additional accessories. If we move this to the side, you'll notice that it does include one Ethernet cable. And this Ethernet cable is what you're going to be connecting to your router. So wherever your internet comes in, AT&T, Xfinity, or other, this is what you connect to that router, and you connect this to one of the mesh points. And really, the way this works, it doesn't matter which one you connect it to. So you just grab one of the mesh points, connect it, power it up, and then we'll go through the setup process. Let me show you how easy it is. Now, before doing this setup, I just wanted to take a look at the mesh point itself so you can see all the features that are included there. So you have your mesh point. It's white. It has kind of like a black or gray type material, leaning more towards black. On the back here, you have 2 ports. Again, it doesn't really matter. This is for Ethernet connectivity, because not only can you use this to connect to your router, but if you need a physical connection where this mesh point is, you can actually connect to this mesh point to a physical connection on your laptop or your desktop, if that's something that you need. So here you have your connectivity. On the bottom here, you have a reset button. So you can see that right there. So there you have your reset. And then also, and we'll flip this over so you can see that right here, you have your power connector right there. So really simple. It does have some cord management, so you can see how you can hide things right there. So that's available as well. But it's very, very simple implementation. Not intimidating at all, because there's really just power it, plug it in, and you're set to go. So we've already connected the 3 mesh points throughout the house. I actually have one connected to my basement inbound router. I have one on my first floor, and then I have one now in my office studio. And that's the one that you see here on camera. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to walk through the setup. So you're going to download the TP-Link app. You're going to register. You're going to have to put in your email, and then you'll go through the setup process, and that's where we're exactly at right now. So let's see what's involved. So the setup process is very, very simple. All I did is I took one of the mesh points that you see here, connected it to my router, powered it up, and then went to another portion of the home and I powered up that second one. This one's in my studio office, and it is also powered up. And now what we're going to do is go through the process of how we set this up. Now, one of the things I've done is I've downloaded the TP-Link app, I've registered, and now I'm at the part where I'm actually starting to configure the device that I have. Here I'm choosing this specific router. There's 4 of them to choose from. This is the one that we have. And now the next thing I'm going to do is just go through some of the screens. It's telling us everything that we should do. And I'm going to do this as well. See, it's guiding you through the entire process. Internet is stable. The decal is pulsing. So you see how it's illustrating it right here. And you can see the LEDs up here. And that is pulsing. And now we're just going to let it go ahead and do its thing. And remember, this is supposed to be super simple, right? So no technical knowledge needed. It should be just push and go. So now it determines that there's multiple decos that have been found. And what I need to do next is I need to take the SSID that's on the bottom with the password and input it into the phone so I can continue the registration. All right, so now that I've connected to the Wi-Fi of that specific mesh point, I'm going to say I have connected, and it's going to continue to do its search. It's found it, and now it's connecting. All right, so now I'm going to define a location for this. So I'm going to just say that this is going to be a custom location. And I say basement. All right. Hit next. It's detecting the type of internet. Okay, and hit next. Now it's creating the Wi-Fi. Now I need to give it a network name. So I'm just going to be really simple. I'm going to call it test, and I'm going to call the password is going to be test1. I'm going to be resetting this anyway. Okay, it needs a little bit more. So, password is test12345 at. Let's see if it likes that one. Yes, it does. So we have our network name and our network password. All right, now it's testing the internet connection. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add another deco. We have this one right here. And we're going to say that that's on the first floor. The decal LED is pulsing. Found it. And I'm going to call this one living room. Okay, we're going to add another, same model, and this one is on the second floor, and it's pulsing too. It found it, and we're going to call this office, and now we're done. All right, so let's see if we're actually connected. So I'm going to swipe down, and I'm connected to test. Everything looks good, and now let's go over the app. But before we do that, we're going to update the firmware. Okay, we're going to go ahead and install it. Now, for those of you who are curious as to what's in the release, you'll notice here, this is the most recent build, and it improves fast roaming function and optimizes system stability. So always recommend to really apply your firmwares as they become available. And I wanted to make sure that for this review that we were testing it and reviewing it with the most current and best build. So that's a good deal. So we're going to go ahead and hit back here. All right, so next let's take a look at the app and then we'll do a speed test. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to perform a speed test. I know you want to see what the performance looks like, so let's go ahead and try that. So 86 down, and it looks like it's going to be 27 up. Now to give you some background, the segment that this router is connected to, I actually have multiple segments in the house with internet connections, is around 120 megabits. So I'm getting 86 megabits down. Now let me also explain, I am 3 floors up. So this is, my router's in the first level. The second access point, or mesh point in this case, is on my level above that, and I am now a level above that. So I'm getting 3 levels in distance, 86.4 down and 27.3 up. Let's go ahead and try it one more time. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's still hovering around the 80s, but you saw that it went above that too. $103, that's better. The upload is still around the same place. A little bit better the second time around. All right, let's do this one more time. All right, so now it's slightly above 100, which is good. I really like that speed. And the upload, I have a sense that it's going to stay around the 27. I really don't get more than 28 up, so doubt that it would go much higher than that. So that's the kind of speed that you can expect. Now, I'll go throughout the home and I'll do speed tests at every level to see if it increases. My anticipation is, or what I anticipate will happen, is as I go down to each level, the speed is probably going to get better. So we'll see what that looks like, and I'll share that at the end of the video. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go back and we're going to go into the Deco application and let's start looking at some of the features. All right, so the first thing that you see on entry is that you see the devices that are connected to this mesh point system. We're going to hit this area here so you can see everything that's involved. So you have Wi-Fi, and if we go into Wi-Fi settings, you see the name of the network, the password. You can also set up a guest network, which is also really good. So we'll hit that so you can see what that looks like. And it's setting up the network, and you have test guest password, and again, you can configure some of the settings there. We have a blacklist. All right, so the blacklisting allows you to block a device access to from your network, so you can do that. You can update the software. You can go into advanced settings. So here are all the settings. I'll just pause this for a second so you can see IPv4, IPv6, VLAN, port forwarding, TP-Link DNS, fast roaming, LED control. Operating mode is as a router. And it looks like you can do a couple things. You can make it a router or you can make it an access point. So in my case, it's connected as a router, which means it's distributing the internet for me. And then you actually can have it as an access point. And then you have notifications enabled. Let's take a look at the parental controls. And on the parental controls, you can actually name the profile. So we'll call it test. And we'll hit next. And you can say that this is a child. And based on the pre-filtered content setting that you have here, it's basically going to filter these things out. Online communications, downloads, right? If I say pre-teen, you'll notice that things change, right? So you can block adult content and social networking. And then what you can do in here is you can choose if you want to add something, right? Or you can add to remove it. So it all depends on what you want to be able to do. If I say teen, notice how it changed again. And if I say adult, notice how it changed again. Now from a website perspective, I could actually add websites as well. So a lot of good filtering and parental controls going on there. The next thing we're going to look at is QoS, right, which is quality of service. So the neat thing here is if you have, for example, a Netflix and you have an Amazon Fire Stick and you want that to have priority over all the other devices. So if your kids are playing Xbox, League of Legends, WoW, whatever it may be, Fortnite, you can actually control who gets priority when it comes to the internet. That way you're not lagging, or if your gamer's home, they're not lagging. So again, you could go ahead and set that as well. So you have a monthly report here that talks about activities. So that's neat. And then the last thing we'll look at is that you can set up managers. In other words, these are the individuals who can actually access the router and manage it and make changes. Now we also have a message area, and in the message area you'll see here that it basically is giving you information that there's a new device detected, and also giving you information around updates. So the app itself is going to tell you if there's a firmware update, and then you can take a, whatever matter you'd like to take into your own hands and go through the firmware updates at your leisure. Now the last thing I wanted to cover before we wrapped up the video is the experience as I walk throughout the whole house. No dead zones, driveway, in the backyard, no issues with coverage. I saw consistent Wi-Fi everywhere I was. I will say that though, as I went into the basement and I got closer to where the primary mesh point was connected to my Xfinity router, I found that the actual bandwidth went up slightly. But I think that that's expected because you're so close to the source. So all in all, consistent throughout the home, which is what you want, and coverage throughout the home, which is also what you want. So guys, that concludes our review of the Deco M4 mesh system, covering again 5,500 square feet at the price of $179. I'm going to have the comment area filled with all the details on the product, as well as a hyperlink if you'd like to order it. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comment area. And as always, thanks for watching.